Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. John Kelly, profiler here, and welcome. Welcome to today's show, Delphi Part 51, Solving the Mystery of Richard Allen. Yeah, quite a mystery, right? With Richard Allen, there's a lot of people coming out with different people of interest, pretty crazy. What I also want to let you know is we're considering doing a live show on addictions. Addiction is like the biggest serial killer, I'll say, out there. And we're trying to gauge interest and how many people might be interested in a live show on addictions. So if you could please message us and let us know, we'd appreciate it. Also, at this time, I want to thank everybody for the purchases of my book, Discovering Lazarus, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of John Kelly. I can't thank you all so much for your kind comments. And please feel free to leave all the comments you want on today's show. We're very interested in your comments. We'll always get back to you. And the other part of that is to subscribe. We love your subscriptions. We love having you in the family. So, hit that button on subscribe. And if you like the show, hit like, okay? Because we like you. How's that? Also, I have to put out a disclaimer that everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And that even includes Richard Allen, who is in, we'll say jail, but I think it's actually a prison they have him in. So, he is innocent until proven guilty. And at this time, I want to send out our deepest condolences to the families and friends of Libby and Abby. I mean, really, some pretty sad stuff here that's gone on over the years. And it's taken a toll, I'm sure, on the family and friends. They're great kids. And as sad as it is, at least hopefully, we'll never get closure for them because they'll always be missed by everybody. But we'll get some justice for them. With that being said, I also want to bring out this ritual sacrifices they were talking about, people alluding, the defense alluding to the Odinites and Odinite sacrifices, sorry there. And, something's very interesting to me. I think you'll find it interesting. I don't see any Odinite or any ritual sacrifices before Abby and Libby were abducted and murdered, do you? And I don't see any after Libby and Abby were abducted and murdered. So where are these Odinites that are so into ritual sacrifices? In my opinion, that's a lot of bullshit. That's pretty much what I'm putting out there. That's my personal feelings on that, okay? But everybody else is entitled to an opinion. Also, we want to take a look at the overlooked unspent round that was found at the crime scene, 40 caliber unspent cartridge. That's about that big, right? And that's in a wooded area in February, found, I think, partially in the dirt from what I hear, at the crime scene, and was not found the first time the crime scene was gone over, but somehow was found at another time after the crime scene was cleared, okay? And everybody is like, whoa, they didn't find it, that was never found at the crime scene when the crime scene was searched. Let me tell you all something. This is not uncommon. Evidence has been and is overlooked much more than you realize or you will ever hear about when people first go over crime scenes. And the reason for that is because the law enforcement, whoever it is and wherever it's at, that's in charge of going over the crime scene and who missed on the first pass the evidence, doesn't want to be embarrassed and look foolish. So you'd never hear a lot of this reported. But I've been there, seen it, and I understand it. Evidence can be overlooked, especially something this big at a crime scene that's pretty big, okay, and something that this big that's supposedly been in the dirt. You must understand that this is not abnormal on the first pass of a crime scene to overlook or miss evidence. So you understand that. This goes on. We'll also show you the size of the cartridge as well. The one thing that is really important, I think, and it's extremely important, is to show what they found at his house. I mean, this is really what I believe is going to sink Mr. Allen. And again, it's just my opinion, my theory, and he's innocent until proven guilty. But it's my opinion that during the search of his house and premises around the house, that they've got a lot of nuggets, a lot of gold nuggets. And I really think that, that's why the defense is putting so much of an effort into not allowing to show what was found in the search of Mr. Allen's house. They want to knock that search warrant out. No question about it. Okay, so, more will be revealed because I don't think they're going to knock it out. And especially when I turn around and I see that they kind of doubled up on his charges, as far as kidnapping and murder goes. Not good for Mr. Allen, I must say. I must say indeed. I think he's really in trouble. People are turning around and saying Richard Allen isn't guilty, and they're pointing to other people and other people of interest. But the bottom line is, you have to admit the only one that's under arrest is Richard Allen. Okay, not anybody else, not any other POIs. Richard Allen's under arrest. And they were talking about him saying he's not guilty or pleaded not guilty. Well, okay, maybe he pleaded not guilty. But you got to look in between the plating angles. He supposedly admitted to the murders on a number of occasions, and some of them over the phone, from what I understand. I'm hearing 2 or 3 times he admitted to it over the phone to his wife, and I don't know to who else. Well, obviously to the prison, and to the cops in the prison guards, because those recordings are all taped. And also, if you want to take a look at the letter, I mean, how about the letter he sent in the beginning? And he sent it to the judge in the beginning where he didn't claim his innocence. In that letter, if you look at that letter that he sent to that judge, he certainly didn't say he was guilty. Well, let me tell you what, he didn't say he was innocent. He was asking for help. He needed legal help for his case. But don't you think any person that's taking the time to write out a letter that needs legal help from the court, monetary help from the court to get a lawyer, is going to talk about his innocence if he's been arrested in his mind, or what he's saying by pleading not guilty, falsely arrested for murdering 2 little girls? My God, at least have one line in that letter saying, I'm innocent, help me. I'm innocent, help me. What's going on here? I mean, he may not say he's guilty, but he doesn't say he's innocent in that letter. And that was the beginning of it, to get legal representation. And we're going to show you that letter. Just show me where it says anything like that in that letter, that I'm innocent, I'm an innocent party in this whole situation. Then we have people out there bringing up different POIs. Even Ron Logan's back in the picture again. What can I tell you? They searched Ron Logan's house. They did everything they could do with Ron Logan. They never indicted Ron Logan. They never arrested Ron Logan for the murders of Libby and Abby. Now, let me tell you about the tip line that we had up there in Delphi. And we would tell anybody that called up with a tip to give it to law enforcement. If they didn't want to talk to law enforcement, we sent it over to law enforcement. Okay. This is very, very important. Okay. Because a person that seems to be accusing Ron Logan of being a killer is like his ex-girlfriend or an ex-wife or something like that. The tips we got, a lot of the tips we got that said it was a certain person, and these people were sure of it. And they were pretty much all women, and they were pretty sure that they were right about who Bridge Guy was. Well, the bottom line is it was either their ex-boyfriend or their ex-husband or somebody that was next door like a neighbor. But most of the tips on who Bridge Guy specifically was were from girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, and ex-wives. And we looked at all that. We looked at all the ones we got. Okay. And I believe that they believed they were 100% correct. Because, Bridge Guy, based on what we could see, looked like pretty much anybody. Okay. But they totally believed it was their ex. And I believe that's what they believed. Not that they were lying or making it up. They just believed that based on whatever took place in their relationship. So I think that's important for you all to know. Okay, because this, an ex-girlfriend or wife coming forward, blaming it on an ex-husband because of the domestic problems they had in their marriage or relationship. I have to tell you, it's all too often very common to get those on tip lines. And we've seen it many, many, many times. Now, the question I have for all the people out there that are, putting out different things to try and doubt what law enforcement has said, what law enforcement has done up in Delphi, and they've done really good work. What's taken them so long, okay, that's up in the air. But the bottom line is law enforcement has arrested Richard Allen. I personally believe they arrested the right guy. He's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. My opinion is just my opinion. But people need to understand, what if he is the guy? What if he's the killer and gets off on a technicality? What if a man that murdered 2 children gets off on a technicality, is some kind of sex maniac, and is released back into the public? See, there's lots of different twists and turns to this. It's just not cut or dry. Okay? It's complicated. But I think the most important thing is that we get a fair trial and present the evidence to the jury and get the jury's due diligence. I think that's the most important piece. And I just hope to God they don't get that search warrant thrown out in some way, shape, or form. With all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. We truly appreciate you. We can't thank you enough. And really, keep your eyes open and stay on your toes out there. We live in a very dangerous world. Again, most importantly, take care of yourself. And until we meet again, God bless. Thank you.